Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Diamond. Thanks for stopping by today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a chit chat, get ready with me, something new. Just want to try it out to see if it's something that I like, if I like this format. Leave me any feedback down below and we're going to get right into this video. But first, coffee. Yes, guys, we're about to do a little bit of a chit chat. Get ready with me today. I've been going through some stuff and I just want to talk about, I want to talk about a few different things, but I especially want to talk about perseverance, strength, and gratitude and forgiveness, especially at this time of year as we're like literally less than a week away from Thanksgiving. I just want to talk about those things a little bit and touch base about my life. So I have, well, first off, let's start. My face is already clean. It's ready to go. I'm going to jump right in with this Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This is the GOAT, y'all. This is the best primer like ever. I'm so glad I bought this. I actually had it as a sample from Sephora and I was like, yeah, I'm about to definitely get the full size because my makeup lasted all day. Looked perfect, airbrush, everything. So yeah, so anyways, yeah, so I have a well, I'm just gonna start off by saying I have a history of mental illness, beginning from 2012. And so that being said, the last 8 years or so have been a roller coaster ride, a journey. That is for sure. From being, having like a mental breakdown, being hospitalized, diagnosed with a few mental illnesses, including like bipolar 2 disorder or bipolar 1. It's one of those. It's been a lot to say the least. It's not easy. I think the part for me that sucked was that prior to this, I was seen by a lot of people as kind of like type A perfectionist, had all my stuff together, you know what I mean? Making moves, doing what I gotta do. So it's been a struggle to say the least to, know that, well, things are a little bit different now. You know what I mean? But that being said, I just want to go ahead and say 2020 has been the best year for me mentally and emotionally in a long, long time. And for that, I'm super duper grateful. And I feel like a lot of it is just, having gratitude for what I do have and things that are going well for me. And also just perseverance, trying to stay strong in light of obstacles and whatever the hell I'm facing at the time. Also, I'm about to go in with this LA Girl Pro Concealer, a Pro HD Concealer, and I'm using currently the color Buff. I switch off between this and Porcelain, but I found Buff and it's a little bit better of a match for me. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put it under my eyes, around my nose, on top of my nose, forehead, chin. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do today. I don't know, maybe we won't actually do any like CC cream or something. Just don't really need it. 2 seconds, I forgot a beauty blender. Okay guys, we're back and we have a damn beauty blender. Let's go. So yeah, so what I was saying is that I think for me, the one thing that's been super helpful in me feeling more normal or getting back to like normal mental health, quote unquote, because I don't think there's any such thing, is just being grateful and being mindful. Like mindfulness is a huge part of like the recovery journey. If you are dealing with any type of mental illness from, bipolar 1 or 2 to depression, anxiety. During my time in treatment, like that's something that I found out was just being mindful of your thoughts and feelings and not invalidating your thoughts and feelings with negative or pessimistic talk or pessimistic speech is really, really helpful. So yeah. And I think we are gonna actually go in with a little bit of CC cream today. Don't really need it, but just why not? I feel like so often when people are going through some stuff, like it's always about what's not going right. This isn't going right or that isn't going right. All the time. And I feel like it's really easy to lose sight of like the good that's happening in our life. Don't get me wrong, that's also a journey in and of itself. I haven't always felt this way, especially when I was first diagnosed. I was feeling depressed and like, why is this happening to me? What's the reasoning? You know, like you go through the, if you're religious or spiritual, you might question God or whoever you might question God. You know, and that's just how it is, unfortunately. It doesn't make you a good person or a bad person. It just makes you normal. It's a lot to deal with. I think, though, that, yeah, in addition to me, even though I was questioning God on occasion, what helped me was leaning on him and remaining faithful. He really is truly always right on time in little ways. And I think sometimes when you're going through stuff like mental health stuff or whatever, you're looking for some grand gesture, some grand something to happen to show you that you're on the right path. But realistically, it's the little stuff that matters. Like, oh, are you waking up this morning feeling happy and refreshed as opposed to, you know, sad and down? Are you, you know, able to concentrate and focus on the things that you once enjoyed? Are you laughing? Are you happy? Are you smiling? All of those things are super duper important when you're going through something like that. So now we're gonna go in with this Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Custom Finish Powder Foundation. That is a hell of a name. I'm using the color 220 Linen. I always get my powders like slightly darker than my skin tone just because I feel it sets better. And my skin is very pale and I use bronzer too, and I just feel like it looks a little better on me. So we'll take this fat ass Tarte brush to make it happen. Actually, what we're gonna do first is we're actually gonna go in with this Laura Mercier powder, which I got recently, and I just got her translucent loose setting powder. I'm feeling it. I'm not used to loose powder, so I still have to get used to it. So I'm gonna just dip my beauty blender there and go ahead and put it right underneath there. Tap, tap, tap in. No, I'm just kidding. Around my nose, on my forehead, because that's where I tend to get super duper oily and whatnot. Those are my main areas, so we'll go ahead and leave that. And then for the rest of the face, then we'll go ahead and go in with that Shiseido powder. So yeah, through my faith and like my family and my fiance, I was able to, you know, come out on the other side. And I'm just so grateful for that, because a lot of times we end up wallowing in our sadness and like pity and all that stuff, and it's just not healthy, honestly. It doesn't help you get anywhere. You know, being negative and whatnot. It's just not helpful. I think also we underestimate ourselves, underestimate how strong we are when we're dealing with something. Which is a shame, because we are so strong and so powerful. I'm going in with this Hoola bronzer. This is my fave. For me, I like all the warmth. I know some people don't like so much warmth, but I actually really like the warmth since I'm so pale. It just give me a little something something. You know what I mean? Also, let me know what you guys think about these, like, you know, clip-ins that don't match my hair, you know? I bought these clip-ins, guys, before I went out of town for a few days, and yeah, they do not really match all the way, but I guess I'm calling it, like, I have a little highlighter-y look, but I'm for sure gonna get some hair dye and dye these a darker color blonde. I should have listened to the guy at the beauty supply store, but, you know, I'm stubborn. You know, cheekbones, jawline, slightly down the neck, just slightly, forehead, nose, under the nose, under the chin. Yeah, that's a good contour right there. Or bronze, whatever. Then I'm gonna go in with this brush. This is like the GOAT, and I can't remember, y'all, if this is a Sigma brush or a Morphe brush. I'm almost positive that this is a Morphe brush, but I can't remember. So bad. I'm not a makeup guru, okay? So yeah, you have to have a lot of strength. You do. I think that we need to give ourselves some grace sometimes when we're going through something, and know that we are stronger than we give ourselves credit for. And it goes a long way. Perseverance. It's actually my favorite word, my favorite motivating word. Because if I had to give myself one thing that I'm really good at, it has to be perseverance. I've been through a lot of random stuff from, you know, I come from a loving family, so I'm not about to just trash and BS, you know, but, you know, bouncing around a little bit as a kid, dealing with, you know, custody issues between my parents, you know, living in poverty, living in the inner city Oakland, you know what I mean? Growing up a little bit impoverished. You know, from the outside, nobody would be able to tell, because my parents always made sure I was good, but, you know, there was some stuff that I had to deal with that I kept to myself, and I never really talked about until I got to therapy. There's some resentment there that I had to go through. I'm cool now, like, but, you know, when you're in it and you're dealing with stuff, it just seems so in your face. Like, it seems like this moment's never gonna go away, this stuff that you're dealing with. Yes, guys, I did not lay my edges. Maybe we'll do that, but I'm not going anywhere because I'm on a self-quarantine. It's a negative for COVID. I'm good. Just throwing that out there, that I'm stuck at home this weekend. So perseverance is important, and that, I feel like that manifests itself in different ways. For me, it was throwing myself into work and school when I'm in school. I go to work every day. I keep my head held up high. I'm able to really effectively separate like work from home, from my personal life rather. And I think that's been really useful for me, to really focus on accomplishing some of my professional goals. So we're gonna start on brows, guys. I'm just going in with this spoolie to brush my non-existent eyebrows out. And I'm going in with this Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, guys. I forgot that I really actually like this. I always use the color Taupe from Anastasia for my eyebrows, or Omega from MAC's eyebrow pencil, but Taupe and Anastasia, and I love this stuff. I also think an important part of dealing with stuff and persevering is hope and being hopeful. Those are really important, because you don't want to think negative and be like, oh, nothing's ever going to change, because you won't manifest change. If you're stuck in a certain season of your life and it seems like it's never ending and you can't figure out why you can't get out, check your, how do I put this? Check your tone is one way I could put it. Check how you're speaking to yourself. Check how you're allowing yourself some grace. Check how you're treating other people. You know what I mean? And also, when it feels like people are doing you wrong, don't stoop to their level. Be you, genuinely. Sometimes it might seem like it's not going to pay off, or maybe it takes longer than you think to pay off and for you to see some change, but check your tone at the door. You know, that's not, being a douchebag isn't going to get you anywhere. Trust me, it just really doesn't. Don't worry, guys. These eyebrows are not staying this dark. We're gonna adjust these. Well, they might be this dark, but we are gonna try to brush them out a little bit. A little better. We do need to try to carve out our brows now, but the shape is there. I'm liking the color. I think one of the other things that's super important when you're going through some things is to really make sure that you're mindful of being forgiving. That's so important, because sometimes we might feel like we've been wronged or like somebody did us dirty. But you've got to let go of that resentment, baby. Like, somebody might have did you wrong. You know what I mean? Somebody might have did you wrong. They weren't cool, all that stuff. But you can't hang on to that, because that negativity is not going to lend itself to you progressing. That's just a fact. And that's what, in any situation, even the hard ones, when you weren't wrong, you've got to try to find a little bit of forgiveness in your heart. Especially because I honestly and truly believe sometimes people are only put in our life for a season and a reason. And it may take a while to figure out what that season or reason is, but a lot of times people who are only in our life for a short while were put there for a reason, whether we realize it yet or not. And it's important to be forgiving of, because you gotta let that go. Once you start forgiving people for how they've done you, I'm talking being on a whole new level, okay? I'm on a new level. No, but for real though, you'll be on a whole new level in like your mental health, spiritual, emotional journey once you start forgiving people. And again, you still have to also forgive the people who really did do you wrong, you know? or the people who put you in awkward situations. You know what I mean? It's not even always they really blatantly did something wrong, but you gotta forgive people who made you feel a certain kind of way, all that stuff. You know, you ain't gotta be cool with that person, but God forgive them. Gotta forgive them. Like, you gonna give that person that much power over you by not being forgiving? Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. I also feel like when you're on a journey like that and you're trying to be forgiving and change and stuff like that, you also can't be picking and choosing who you forgive and who you don't forgive. I feel like I know people who do that, and that's also not helpful. Oh, by the way, y'all, I just used the LA Girl Pro HD Concealer to carve out my eyebrows and clean them up a little bit. And now I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty cream, Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Blush. Which it's funny because I was never really into makeup. Number two, I just always felt like certain things weren't for me because my skin tone is already naturally red. So like, why would I go in with a blush? But once you have on your base, like, blush be popping. And I'm using the color Strawberry Drip. It's fire. Like, I can't go back to just not using any blush, because this is like too fire. So after I go in with the blush, I do like to go back in with just another little blush brush to just blend a little bit. Blend it with my bronzer. I'm also learning how to properly apply it, guys. So if you have any blush tips, let me know. I know you put on the apples of your cheek, but my apples are like to the front, and I feel like blush looks better. It'll just set back just a little bit and more blend it with my bronzer. So let me know how you feel about it down below. I also picked up something recently, guys, really cheeky. I got the Resi palette. Yeah, it's so beautiful. Like, I think I'm done buying makeup because first of all, I don't even, maybe not makeup, but I don't need any more regular base makeup for a while. But this is definitely the last like random splurge makeup item that I buy because I don't even wear eyeshadow like that on an everyday basis. I'm so lazy. Like, I roll out of bed and do my 5 to 10 minute face and like that's it. Like, this is like full beat mode right now, okay? But this palette, y'all. Look at this palette. Those colors are stunning. I think today, since we're just in a house, we can do a cute look. You know what I'm saying? Just a little something, something. So I think the first thing that we're gonna do is go ahead and put a wash of this light color Wasted all over our lid. I haven't really done a pinky look before, but this is gorgeous. And guys, I swear, once you let go of like the hurt, the pain, and you try to be more positive, like, good things come to you. Like I said, spent a lot of years having resentment for stuff that was really nobody's fault and under nobody's control. And, you know, I had to let it go. I also feel like once you get to be a certain age or you get to a certain level of independence in your life, like, you gotta let that go, because everything that you want for you in your life is gonna happen because of you, not because of whoever slighted you or whatever. Like, you gotta let it go. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel about that. This Wasted color is beautiful for like every single day. Like, for sure, I might be using that. For sure. Then when I say fresh out of the packet, guys, this is what I mean. We're literally just using this. So one of my sources of of resentment and all that stuff was school and not being able to finish when I wanted to with school and not having as much help as I would have liked in regards to finishing school. And for me, I had to learn to let that go. I'm really glad I did, but it was a whole thing for a long time. You know what I mean? It caused tension in some of my relationships with my family, and I couldn't progress. It caused me a lot of stress and pain because I spent so much time focusing on what didn't happen and what coulda, shoulda happened. Also, I'm using OG to kind of carve my crease right now from the Resi palette. And yeah, I spent so much time harboring so much resentment on that. I couldn't progress. Like, I'm focusing on resentment of not getting help with school. I could have been focusing on super hustling again to get it on my own. You know what I mean? No, I just spent time being angry. This OG color is kind of cute. Head in with a blending brush to smooth this out. Y'all, I was resentful about that. I was resentful about not being able to finish school on time, or graduate from college on time, or more or less on time. Resentful that my life had, I'd gone from being like national scholar, my local county's Hall of Fame, Women's Hall of Fame inductee, all those things. And I couldn't reconcile the way that my life currently was at that time with the person who I used to be. And I forget that we change and we grow, and unfortunately, failures are a part of that growth. They're really important. They really help teach us a lesson. For me, mine was taking responsibility and having accountability for my own actions, especially because I'd led a more or less sheltered life at the time, and I had to reconcile that for myself, That's cute. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying that like that. So next, I think we're gonna go ahead in with this super hella cute glittery shade called Barb. I'm gonna just go ahead and take some of my Urban Decay All Nighter spray and spray this brush up real good. Ooh, look at Barb, guys. So glittery. Love it. We love that. Yeah, that's hella cute. So, yeah, once I let go of a lot of that resentment, then better things started happening, I started to, I guess it's over the last few years, I was able to really focus on making sure that my mental health was 100%, working with my therapist, working with my psychiatrist to make sure that, I'm healthy and I'm straight, that I'm good. So that was awesome. And then once I started focusing on that, I was able to really build better relationships with my family, particularly my mom and my dad and my stepmom, and just be very grateful that I have them in my life because they've been just a huge support system for me. I was able to focus on, I was able to get engaged. I wouldn't have been able to receive that properly if, I wasn't able to focus on bettering my mental health. You know what I mean? I was able to, break away from bad habits. I have horrible spending habits. Still struggling with them, but they've gotten so much better. I was able to, get one of my goal jobs, which was to be a boutique manager. I was able to earn that and manifest that. And then I was able to, manifest paying off my consumer debt. Like, once you start letting go of the negative and you think positive and focus on what your goals are, you can literally accomplish nearly anything. And I love that. So we're also gonna go in right now with the color Sensa from the Resi palette. It's this beautiful purpley shade, and we're gonna use it in the corner of our crease just to add a little dimension. And a little spice. Just a little something, something, And I was also really able to build great friendships with the people who I do know and love and have in my life, and the people who are solid and never folded, you feel me? I was able to make sure they were straight and make sure that our relationships were good instead of focusing on these relationships that had expiration date, I've been holding on to some of these friendships for so long, and you know what? I still love those people. Anything would happen to them, I'd be sad, but you know what? We were in each other's life for a reason and a season. You know what I mean? Okay, y'all, I'm feeling this eyeshadow. I never put on eyeshadow this good. I'm obsessed. Okay, let me stop. Are we gonna put on bottom shadow? I just don't think that's necessary. Guys, I do put on bottom shadow sometimes, but for real, it don't be looking right because I have glasses, but we're just gonna do it today for the sake of this video. We're gonna go back in with this Sensa, this purple color. There we go. That's kind of cute. Okay, I'm kind of feeling this purple shadow under the eye, y'all. Not gonna lie. Like, it's gonna disappear when I put my glasses on, but we'll get there when we get there. Yeah. With the shade Anastasia right on the inner corner of the eye to add a little bit of shine. Just a little something. Well, guys, this is so funny watching myself put on this makeup. I hated makeup. Hated it. I think because there were, way less options and less technologies. And coming from someone who has fair skin, that might sound like, I don't know, it could sound like I'm complaining compared to my beautiful chocolate sisters and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I know that there definitely weren't a lot of makeup options available for them, but also for me because my skin is I'm light skinned, but it's like a different kind of light skin, sort of. I hesitate to say I'm light skinned sometimes, but how people traditionally apply makeup, it was always too dark, too warm, too stark against my skin. So I actually literally had to teach myself to put on makeup how I like to put on makeup. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what we had to do. Okay, guys, and actually before I put on my eyeliner, I'm gonna go ahead and spritz my face and then do highlight because I find that I like how that looks a little bit better. Oh yeah. I don't know, I just really challenge everyone right now in this season to really think about what you're grateful for. Try not to complain. Know that this is literally just a season in your life. It doesn't mean this is how things are always going to be. You know what I mean? Things will get better. You got to think positive, want them to get better, and know that they're gonna get better. Easier said than done. I will say that for sure. It's definitely easier said than done. But it's the truth, y'all. It's the truth. I'll be back after this commercial break to put on eyeliner. All right, guys. So I just used the, ooh, it's totally rubbed off, but I just used the Kat Von D tattoo eyeliner. This is like really nice. It's super duper dark, super black. I think it goes okay over like shadow, like creamy glittery eyeshadows as well. Like I got a decent line. I might start switching back though to straight up liquid liner. I mean, like, you know, hella inexpensive e.l.f. or NYX liquid liner, because those work really well too. I just find that they're more messy and I have more control with a pen, but I do prefer the super inky black sleek line that I can get with a liquid liner. But that's what we use for today. Oh, and we forgot to put on our highlight, shorty. So we have a couple options here. We have the Morphe High Impact highlighter in the color Extra, which is super cute. It's like a champagne-y sort of color, a little bit pinky too, which will look cute with this. But then we also have the Master Crystal Reflection by Makeup by Mario. And this is in the color Bronzite. I feel like it's a slightly darker. It's definitely meant for a more rich skin tone than mine, but I do like the sheen that it gives. This is also pinky, so we could really go either way. For the sake of today though, I think I want just banging pow, pow, pow and not subtle highlights. So we're gonna go with the Morphe. Gotta do that C shape, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. A little bit of nose highlight action. Ooh, a little on the forehead. Cupid's bow. Chin. Or the highlight. We even gonna put a little on the edge and dust up underneath the eyebrows up here. Just a little something. Brush off the rest of that loose powder. So we're just gonna take the other end of the Tarte powder brush and just flick it. It's a little late for that, but you know. The next and like almost final step is going to be, I'm trying to debate if I want to put out eyelashes, but realistically we're gonna just put on mascara because we're just at home today. Actually, we're gonna do two things, guys. We have our little white eyeliner. We're gonna put this on our waterline. And last but almost not least, we're gonna go in with our MAC Hot and Naughty Lash. Ooh. So last but not least, again, we're gonna go in with our MAC Hot and Naughty Lash. I love this. I love that you can go in with a more subtle one for, like, if you want to do bottom lashes, like we can just do these right now. Or if you just want a much more natural lash that day, you can do that too. But if you want something that's heck of more banging, you can just twist it from the big part, give it a couple pulls, and then you have this fat AF brush. That's going to give you a nice thick looking eyelash. All right, guys, last but not least for this chit chat get ready with me, we're going to go in with some liquid lipstick. Perfect because I'm at home all day. Don't have to worry about smudging on a mask or anything. And this is the Kat Von D matte everlasting liquid lipstick. I love it. This is in the color K-Dub. It's just this beautiful, vibrant, like purpley fuchsia. I am a bold lipstick kind of gal. It's my fave. I love the Kat Von D liquid lipsticks. I feel like they last all day. They're super soft on the lips. They don't dry out my lips because I've had an issue with that, unfortunately, with some matte liquid lipsticks. But yeah, this is perfect. Thank you so much for spending this time with me for our little chit chat get ready with me. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys are grateful for and thankful for this Thanksgiving and this holiday season, especially in this crazy 2020 that we've had. Let me know, what are your stories of strength, perseverance, forgiveness, gratitude? Let me know down below. I appreciate all the love, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye.